Welcome to VACO's Premier Partner Spotlight. With me is Tim Rahschulte. He is the director of NACo's High Performance Leadership Academy. The High Performance Leadership Academy that he works with is a 12-week program designed to make existing leaders better, emerging leaders ready to address the challenges of leading change in business and the business of the communities. Tim, thanks for joining me today. How did your partnership with NACo come about?
Hi, Dean. It is great to be with you today. And the partnership came about because of feedback that county leaders had shared with Matt Chase and others at NACo over the last number of years. We launched the High Performance Leadership Academy in 2014 with the support of General Powell and many other executives and thought leaders. And in our process of enrolling leaders across the United States to help them get better at addressing the complexities of their businesses, a number of county officials, elected officials, as well as staff level leaders enrolled into the program at the request of Matt Chase, the executive director of NACo, and provided feedback around its importance and the need within counties to get better, to help with succession planning, and to just recognize the changing landscape and changing demographics of the business of counties requires ongoing development so that leaders do get better on a regular basis. And in 2018, we formalized a partnership with the National Association of Counties. And at this point in time, we deliver leadership development to nearly 2/3 of the counties across the country.
Tim, as a graduate of the program, it's really a great program. And one of the things that I learned is that the leadership is really an effort in change management. Is that correct?
It really is. You know, the greatest leaders, when anyone thinks about the greatest leader that they know of, they think of somebody who has addressed complexity and really brought about some aspect of change to their organization, to their county, to their local government agency or organization. And whenever we think about a change agent, we usually also attribute them as a great leader. And so there is a direct correlation between leadership and change. And it's often been said that some of the greatest challenges that leaders face is bringing about a new order of things. Leaders are often looked to when things are going badly. When we think about the pandemic that we've recently been through over the last number of years and still working through today, leaders really look to stabilize organizations and stabilize people, communities when things are going bad. When things are going good, leaders often try to find ways to make it even better. And so, yes, leadership is really an effort in change management, how to best plan, execute, and sustain positive change for the people that are involved with communities, counties, organizations, and the like.
Tim, why is change so hard? And what are some of the practices to overcome the challenges of change?
It's a great question. You know, it's probably been asked a number of times before, you know, why is change so hard? I've asked that question many times myself. And, you know, with anything that is going through a change, there is something that is new that's trying to be created. And whenever there's something new that's trying to be created, there's something that's currently in place that's going to stop. You know, there's something that folks are trying to move from and getting to. And so because of this, William Bridges is a foremost expert researcher, academician, and practitioner when it comes to organizational change. And he identified that there is this aspect of letting go, you know, this model that he put together, this transition model. People have to let go of the current state before they can accept and take on a new state of being, a new change, whatever that change might be. You know, it could be a new piece of technology, it could be a new process, it could be new employees coming into the organization, it could be a new product being released. There is this aspect of letting go and then accepting that new beginning. And depending on the person and depending on the change that's taking place, it can be hard. And part of the reason it's hard is because we often attribute change with resistance from people. I mean, think about the latest technology that may have just been released within your agency at any county across the country. That technology adoption is hard. It's hard letting go of the legacy system because in some cases, Maybe we created that legacy system and it's hard for us to let go of that. Maybe we're part of a team that have been using that legacy system for years, if not decades, perhaps, and we're very proficient with it. We're very efficient with it. And anything new, even if it might be proclaimed as being something better, maybe more efficient, there's fear and uncertainty about what that change really entails, and therefore it creates this aspect of resistance. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross wrote about this in the 1970s. She talked about change as the same aspect of a grieving cycle. When we lose something, when we lose a loved one, we go through a grief process. And, sometimes we get stuck in that grief process for quite a while. We can find ourselves in a pretty deep depression sometimes before we accept the new beginning of things, that new order of things. The same thing happens with change. Again, whether it's a piece of technology or anything else that is actually going through change, we go through that process. Now, some people go through it very quickly because, like a new piece of technology, there's some folks that are already addressing and adopting that new beginning where they're like, well, thank goodness this is happening. This should have happened 5 years ago. And there are people on board right away, but not everybody. Everybody moves at their own pace when it comes to change. And that's what makes it so hard. There's this resistance factor. And we have to understand where people are with letting go of the current state, moving through that transition of then grabbing on and adopting that new beginning. There's a formula that is often used when it comes to change on how do we overcome that resistance. And I think this will get to your question specifically, Dean, about what do we do? We know it's hard. What do we do to overcome it? This formula is as follows. It's D times V times F has to be greater than R. So it's this algorithm and algebraic formula. R is resistance. D is dissatisfaction. There has to be a dissatisfaction, enough dissatisfaction in the current state that we want something different. That alone isn't enough. We have to have V, which is the vision. So we have to have dissatisfaction in the current state. We have to have vision as to where we're going, what that future state might look like. But then that's not enough either. We have to have F, which is attributed to first steps. We have to have a plan in which to get there. That in place, when it's in place, can help overcome resistance. Dissatisfaction today, clarity and a vision for tomorrow, and then the plan in which to get there. If any one of those things is not in place, you're going to struggle. If those things are in place, it increases the probability of success for positive change.
As part of the Academy program, you also mentioned the challenge of not getting the change ahead of your culture's readiness to change. Can you explain that just a little bit more?
Yeah, I'd love to. It's one of the challenges that leaders often face because when they understand dissatisfaction in the current state, like we can make this process better. When they understand the vision, it's going to be better and we're going to be 10% more efficient, 20% more efficient, and they have an idea as to what they're going to do to get there. They're already bought on. They're working that. But the rest of the team, the rest of the culture, the rest of the organization may not have the same level of clarity of dissatisfaction, vision, and those steps in which to get there. And it's often for the leader and the core team navigating that change to get a little bit further ahead of the rest of the organization. Again, back to the William Bridges' model, people at different stages will hold on to the current state longer. They'll resist the future state longer. People operate on their own pace. We have to meet those folks where they are, understand why it is they're holding on to that current state, not adopting the future state. And it's in that process of exchange, that relationship building, that communication that we can help individuals navigate. Leaders in the teams of change can forget about the people side of change and helping individuals navigate the complexities of change, which is often emotionally based. Folks usually can rationalize, oh, yes, we should be able to get better as an organization. We should better present our products to our customers in a different way so that there's a higher level of use of those products and services that we offer throughout the counties. This becomes a challenge if we're not that connected with the individuals that are needing to actually adopt the change. And that's one of the reasons that it's so hard as well, that we can, as a team of individuals focused on delivering the change, we can sometimes lose sight of where people are in the process to actually navigate there. So we can get the change ahead of where our culture's readiness is to adopt that new beginning.
Tim, the NACo High Performance Leadership Academy is for existing leaders and emerging leaders, correct? Many of our counties in Virginia, have really been benefiting from this program and have taken it. Can you tell me a little bit about the Virginia enrollment, what we've done, how many people we've had participate in the program here in the Commonwealth?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Dean. The program is really designed for existing and emerging leaders. As we say, and as you mentioned early in this broadcast, that the program really does help existing leaders get better and emerging leaders get ready to address the complexity of the business of counties. And specifically in the Commonwealth, we have almost 200 participants that have engaged in the program. About 100 just last year went through the program. We've got a large number already enrolled for this year. The interesting thing is they're all coming from a pretty small group of counties. There have been, of the 88 counties in the Commonwealth, 33 counties have participated, enrolling almost those 200 enrollees. We'll have over 200 here pretty soon, and we've got over let's see, we currently will have about 3,000 this year go through the program across the entire United States. And so 33 of the 88 counties have participated thus far.
Tim, I'm going to ask you now, is Virginia one of the top states for participation? Tell me we are.
Virginia is close to the top of
Okay.
states for sure. There's some states, Texas and California, who, you might expect, Texas has 254 counties. Virginia is very high on the list, in the top 5, definitely, for sure.
Tim, we really thank you for your partnership that you have with NACo and the work you do with our counties here in Virginia. And this is a great program, and we look forward to talking more in some other videos that we have. I know that later on you're going to be sharing your insights on the 4 strategies of positive leadership. You're also going to be talking a little bit about the mutual gains approach to negotiations, and you'll be also talking about the aligning resources to do more with less, something that we can all benefit from these days, especially here in the Commonwealth. So I really want to thank you for being here, and thank you for participating in our Premier Partner Spotlight, and look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you so much.